We're going to be talking through tonight's Friday MLB slate. For me, been a really, really rough MLB year. It was a really good NBA year, really bad MLB year, and really ready to turn the table and focus on the playoffs and football and then basketball coming up in a couple weeks. So I'm actually excited about it being the last day. Usually I have a little bit of sadness too. This year, not so much for me. Sheets, how you doing? And any sort of overall thoughts today before we get
it's always process, and just keep on, even if the baseball season itself is ending. Again, I did another, again, I'm doing this every morning. I did like an early build of the using, the Sabre Sim and going through my process and things like that. Even though baseball's coming to a close, I'm going to be, the NBA is coming really soon. And remember, the NBA is going to require you to act much quicker. So I'm practicing, how to more efficiently navigate the different technologies that I'm going to need to get things going, and I'm showing people and I'm learning and this, that, and the other thing. I want to whine about something a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it is about Nashville. Okay. So Stacy went to Nashville for this, for a couple of days with her sister. It's her sister's 50th. So they went on a girls' trip there. And last time they went to Nashville, my brother died. Okay.
Oh my God.
So I have that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this time, now this is obviously not as extreme, but this time I was going to go play. I said, you know what? This time I'm going to go play the WSOP online event in Jersey. And my buddy, his whole house has the flu. So, so that's canceled. But I am going to be, there's another like 12 days of these tournaments. I got $1,500 in that freaking account. I'm going to go there and fire that thing off somehow. So I'm going to find it. The good thing is they're only 1 day events, I'll find the time to go out to Jersey and freaking do it. So the other thing is, so now I'm basically, I'm going to be around a little bit more this weekend. I already, just in case anybody cares, I put up like all my State King stuffs for like the whole weekend already, like from all the footballs and the Nashvilles and the NASCARs and everything else. I already put up like my showdown slate for the Jacksonville game on Sunday morning up there. So no, I just wanted to get it out of the way. I had a little time, so I did that.
Yeah.
And baseball, I'm ready tonight. Yesterday, I did not have the Coors game. I was hoping you did because I know you like Colorado, so I was hoping that
I just didn't play enough. I mean, I played 3 lineups.
Okay. I'm hoping you did that. Texas obviously didn't get anywhere. Good on Seattle. Big freaking hit from JP Crawford to with 2 outs down 1 to win the game on a walk-off to save their season pretty much. That was pretty strong.
Yep.
And weird stuff happened at Citi Field yesterday. So I have to get this all exactly right, but I know Miami really kind of needed to win, and Miami was down 1 going into the top of the 9th, and they scored 2 runs,
and then
the Rays came. So they suspended the game, and the way I hear it, if the game ended, like the Mets would get the win somehow. You know what I mean? Even though
that's impossible. Whatever it's about.
Something like that. Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's impossible.
And the other thing is that there's like no way they're ever going to be able to play that game. So from what I heard, they might just suspend it, and then maybe if they need it later, they'll go back and finish it or something like that. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but pretty weird. It was funny because you thought that there might be something weird happen at Citi Field anyway. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So that was kind of interesting. I don't know what's to make of that. Today, if this Met game plays, I mean, good luck. I don't know. Doesn't look like anybody's playing baseball around here. So, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm ready to get after it.
The Mets game's already been postponed, by the way.
Oh, it has been postponed already?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
And it's a meaningless game, so it doesn't matter. The weird one about yesterday was that they needed to figure something out because that team is in the playoff. They're in the playoffs as of right now by a half a game. Like it's literally as important as it could have been. So very, very strange stuff.
I have also, kind of like an okay boomer take from yesterday. I always feel like, I don't know. I always feel like weird when I feel this way. But so I watched do you see the Bryce Harper Angel Hernandez thing?
Yeah, and Angel Hernandez is an awful umpire, by the way.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't care. Okay. Yeah. So Angel Hernandez made a bad call, which he tends to do. You know, probably more than most, right? Pretty bad umpire, whatever it is. But I mean, what a freaking atrocious look for freaking Bryce Harper to go freaking stomping out after him. Like
that was after he got thrown out of the game. I actually totally disagree with you. We're on completely.
Yeah, I know. That's why I feel this way. So yeah, he's like some 6'6" dude, freaking athlete. He's like just jumping out after him like a little freaking baby. Just a freaking one. Listen, it's okay. They didn't defend their freaking title. End of the season. The guy's 100 years old. You're going out there with go sit the fuck down. You know that's again my okay boomer opinion. I know whatever it is, they're competitors, whatever it is. Just freaking sit the fuck down. The guy made a bad call and just be done with the freaking season.
Yeah, I would go so far as not only do I couldn't disagree with you more.
I know.
If someone did the opposite and didn't react to being thrown out in that situation, I would have actually hated the player. I would have actually thought the player had something wrong with them internally, that they wouldn't have any reaction, because he didn't. It wasn't even that big of an. First he just went what, and then he threw him out, and then he was like, I thought it was actually like appropriate.
No, I thought he was. I thought he got threw out after he started to go after him. So
no, that not from what I understood. But if I'm wrong, it does change.
Watch the video. It's maybe just because I'm older now. I'm a little more sensitive to older people. It just looked really bad from my angle.
Well, I mean, yeah. And before we get into the slate, I guess one last thing. Maybe that's a whole separate thing that between the government, between our government, and in some of these, especially in some of these sports where these guys' vision can't see anything. I think that we've got to start looking for younger umpires. Part of the problem is these guys being a million years old. It's like they're grandfathered into this, so we let them go out there and wildly call things that make no sense. Anyway,
so fire them. Retire them.
Right.
Don't let these 6'6" guys that go like one running after them. You know what I mean? Like just give a little respect.
You rather it be the 5'3" managers like they used to be, the kick in the dirt and stuff?
No, I don't think there's any reason to physically go.
No. I was just kidding. No, you know how they do. I'm just sort of kidding. You know,
listen, it looked bad to me. That's what
I got you. Okay. Well, we can. I'm not like a huge Harper guy. It just was just my opinion was that it was egregious on all levels.
Egregious call, probably a bad ejection, but that does not. I don't know.
I had to check these standings. I'm like, I know Philly's in the playoffs already, but am I right about that? Because it did look to me like he was arguing so strongly that it was like were eliminated from the playoffs on it or something like that.
Who cares?
But it wasn't. Anyway,
sit down.
I will tell you guys about this slate, though. Just beware. Any team without anything to play for, we're gonna have to. You're gonna have to play at your own risk too, and I'll do the same depending on if I decide to play today or not. But it's gonna be high variance stuff. Last starts of the season for a lot of these pitchers is the reason no pitcher projects well. Like no pitcher projects well. The highest projection on any pitcher is 15 fantasy points, 15.9. I don't know if I've seen that on a full slate basically this whole season since opening day. But there is nobody getting overextended, and we'll try to figure out maybe some who's got some redemption stuff or whatever. But really, the pitching is going to be a huge wild card today, just in how long a lot of these guys pitch.
Now here's another just kind of wait. What is that? Wait, I thought I had another. I had another kind of bad take. I had another one.
I'm sure it'll come back.
I'm going to pull this. I don't care. I'm going to pull this up.
Let's see.
Because it's on Twitter. I'm gonna pull this up because I do not like this, and you know what? I'm gonna pull this up. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. This is not violating copyright because it's somebody's tweet. How about that?
Okay, there we go.
So this is what we're gonna do.
This is what happens the last day of the MLB season, everybody. We get to talk about all kinds of stuff, and
that's fine by me. I think this is more important. All right, so we're gonna look at everybody's here. We'll look at Bryce Harper. Let's see how he reacts.
I think you had another take. You're gonna go back this one.
Yeah, we're going right here. Yeah, we're going back to this. All right, so here we go.
Yeah, but you missed.
Now he throws him out. He's halfway down the line.
Yeah, but he's a quarter. Oh, come on.
Just look at him. You really want this? Look at this.
This is the part that's after the throwing out. Like I said, that happens with everybody after they get thrown out. He's not actually going to go hit him. Yeah, okay, so there you go.
Sit down. That's my
What was your other one? This you just wanted to show.
That was it. But I had another one. But I missed it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's share your other screen and we can talk about the slate.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, we usually agree on these things. This one, we're on the different page of.
But that's okay. That's what. Hey, we talked about this yesterday. That it's healthy to disagree with the co-host. You know.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very healthy. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. We've got the first one up is Boston and Baltimore, who clinched yesterday. So I have no idea what kind of lineup Baltimore is rolling out there. As of right now, both of these pitchers are on my list. That's all I have.
So I remembered my bad take. It wasn't a bad take. It might have been an off observation. So, it was related to what you said about having what teams have to play for and stuff. So yesterday, in the early slate, nobody really noticed it, but Sonny Gray was pitching for Minnesota. There was like a 2-game slate, and he was 89% owned because there were really only 3 pitchers you could choose from. And after 4 innings, they took him out of the game. Yeah. So that's like exactly the type of thing. You know what I mean? That could happen. And you know, I don't blame them. You know what I mean? So not a lot of complaint. But these are things that would be nice to kind of think about.
Yeah. Well, starting right off the bat, you have, like I said, Baltimore clinched, Boston with nothing to play for, and not even really a rivalry game. It's a very low total, bad hitting weather in Baltimore, 8-mile-an-hour winds blowing in. I think both these pitchers are high on my list, but I don't feel safe with any pitching tonight, so that's where I'm at.
Well, you know, the overall view on the slate is that you have a lot of guys like this, like you just got to refer to, you know, guys in the 7 to 8K range that could be good or could be whatever, it could be mediocre. And I think that and when I look at the projections, they're all within like 2 points of one another. If you could really get an idea of who's going to be just the least owned of all of them, it's probably what you're supposed to do, I think. I agree with you. I think Pivetta and Means are both sort of in play. I think that Pivetta is kind of more inclined to just to roll. You know what I mean? Like if there's no reason to not pitch him, I guess.
Yeah.
So I prefer him if any of them.
Yeah.
But I think they're both in the mix. And as far as hitting goes, I don't have either of the hitting in my top set.
Yep, I actually agree that I think Pivetta may end up being like the best play, like as we go forward. There's certainly the upside. He's looked good lately, and you know, it's not like there's nothing to pitch for. Like I think Pivetta is the right answer there, and I think he might actually be the right answer for this whole slate. All right, Tampa Bay, Toronto. Kikuchi's going to look good. I will say this, like, you know, if they get into any serious trouble, it's interesting to see how far they let him pitch through it because they're right on the cusp right now of the postseason. Let me just double check. Actually, I just lost my wild card thing by accident, but either way, they are right there. And Tampa Bay. I have to grab my playoff.
I'll pull him up. I got it up here, right here.
Okay, let's grab the wild.
Right, so wild card, Toronto is they're clear. What?
They're a game up, right?
Right, they're a game up, but sort of like 2 games up, sort of because.
Oh, I got you. So they really just need another game and a loss to. I guess just a game to clinch that.
They could use. They need a win. They could use a win.
Yeah, but maybe not quite as dire circumstances. And Tampa Bay is now behind the Yankees behind Baltimore. It's over. So I expect to see a weak lineup from Tampa Bay today, but you never know. And honestly, their weak lineups score as much as their good lineups do. They've been playing a lot of weak lineups lately. All this to say that I have a little bit of interest in Kikuchi, but probably less so than the field will.
Yeah, I have Kikuchi as like one of like those 12 pitchers or so that are all the same to me. I mean, honestly. And if, like I said, I mean, if that turns out to be where people go, I'll be off it, honestly. This is the other one that you kind of hit last night. You had Colorado and you like Toronto also. Anyway, I'm not getting to any of the hitting here, and I'm not getting to Savali either. I forgot to mention him. But Kikuchi, I mean, he's going to be in play, but I'm not going to play him in my big buy-in. I don't think.
I actually don't mind Toronto as a stack.
Okay.
Yeah, you're getting the absolute worst from Tampa Bay, and that's fine with me. I'll Savale and then the bullpen and however long anybody pitches. I don't see there's literally like no motivation for them to win this game. Okay. Atlanta, Washington. Look, I understand Atlanta's having fun setting all these records with this. Yep. It's starting to feel a little bit like I guess you're supposed to play the game, so that I should be happy about that. But it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. This is the same thing that got their guys injured before. They've done this going back into the 90s where they had guys injured in the last week of the season when they were up by 20 games. If I were them, I'm just shutting down everybody. I have no interest in trying to do anything else. And I'm curious to see whether they do that tonight. If they play, it's hard not to say Atlanta's a good stack. I immediately love the over in this game. I love the under in this game because I am going to gamble on that Atlanta finally does pull back the reins a little bit. And then you have Winans, who's talented against this Washington team, who's on the list for me as well. So depending on who Atlanta plays out there, I think no matter what they're in play, but they're going to be chalky probably, and we honestly don't really know. I'm just going to take a look at their ownership, their early projected ownership. I actually don't have it that crazy, but still pretty high. Yeah, it really just depends on what lineup they release. But even if they release a bad one, Atlanta is in a good spot. It's a bad pitcher, bad bullpen behind him, good hitting conditions in Atlanta. So it's going to be hard not to have Atlanta as one of the top stacks, I think, even if they put a weak lineup for them out. Okay,
I am a little bit shocked. It's something I saw yesterday. That I don't know how close it was, but they said something about Minnesota has X amount of home runs for the season or something like that. I just presumed that this was the record, just because they seemed like they had a home run every time they come to the plate. I was unaware that the Twins in 2019 had this is why I barely even follow anything. You know what I mean? 2009, they had a lot more. I don't know if it's a lot more, whatever it is, but it's amazing that Atlanta does not have the record in a weird way.
Yeah.
So if they were within a couple of the record, I would say they're playing everybody.
The weird part is that year the Twins only had one more home run than the Yankees did.
Yeah, right. Well, Aaron Judge had them all, right, or something. I don't know. It's But so I don't know if that's the case. But again, this is going to happen one day. They're going to show it in 2 years. They're going to come up with an investigation that there was something in all of the bats of Atlanta. They just hit it farther than everybody else. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Anyway, I don't really think it matters who's playing for Atlanta. I mean, really, I just think I think they're going to be in play again. I think they're going to project to be one of the top stacks again. They're not going to be the highest owned, I don't think. And if you're playing some lineups, you got to play them. I just think you do. Anyway, that's really all I have from there. I don't have any of the pitching, and that's it.
Yep. All right, moving along. What do you got next here?
I have San Diego, Chicago.
All right, why don't you jump into that one real quick?
Yeah. So finally, at the end of I presume the White Sox are now in the playoffs, so it's finally going to be the end of a year of me getting Dylan Cease wrong every start. This will be the last chance for me to prove for sure that I'd have no idea what to do with him. And once again, he looks like a decent play. This one, he might not be as highly owned because there are all these guys that are cheaper. You know what I mean? You have all these 7,500s and whatever it is out there. And maybe I'll try him this time. People are like, well, good game, bad game, good game, bad game. Maybe I'll play him for the last good game in a row. Maybe. I have literally no idea what to do with him. So I'll probably end up playing him. That'll be my initial guess is he'll probably be my big buy. Just if I had to guess right now. On the other side of it, I think San Diego is actually pretty good also because Cease can also have those types of games as well. But you have Cease, he's over 100 pitches pretty much every game. And how is he not going to be popular? He's he's over 100 pitches every game, and he strikes people out. So we'll see. Where do we have him with ownership? He's got to be over 20, right?
No, I think they've got him 10 to 15 right now, depending on where you look. But
well, let me see. Who do I have the top owned guy? Rodon, maybe.
I mean, it's going to change drastically. No, I think these numbers, the old rule for MLB, and I don't know if they still do it at Rotogrinds. I'd be curious to see what they're doing today. Is nobody does any content until the afternoon. Period. Because it absolutely is all meaningless. Most of what we're talking about is completely meaningless, especially as it relates to lineups, because we have no idea if the Padres we don't know if Machado, Soto, and Bogarts are going to sit or something.
Right.
It's just we're really just speculating. So I don't think any ownership or anything like that should be paid any attention right now.
But right off the bat, I will say that a good like kind of like strikeout pairing like Pivetta Cease right now before you get to the rest of the games seems to make the most sense to me.
That's where we're on the same page with that. I agree 100%. I just want to see what San Diego's lineup looks like. And for those of you guys who do follow our content, please like and subscribe to the video, all that stuff. But I'm not going to release mine until probably literally just before the game started until we get the lineups, because I don't think there's any value in just speculating when there's no need to speculate. Okay, so here we get into the Rodon thing. Is that what? Oh no, do we not?
Well, both. I mean, the Rodon and the Yankees thing. I mean, like,
what's the Yankees thing?
Well, I mean, I currently ran my first bit of runs, and I'm getting, like, depending on what settings you use, anywhere between 85 and 100% Yankees.
I feel like both of these things all of these are super in play. I mean, it's like the one game with great hitting weather. It's 87 degrees with 11-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to left. It's like on a slate where there's tons of bad weather. Or just not good hitting weather. Yeah, I think you kind of have to consider all angles of this one, right? What do you think?
Yeah. I think the Yankees are going to be huge chalk for openers,
which is hilarious for the Yankees to end the rate. Well, for not quite the end rate, but end the weekday regular season as a chalk after everybody's been loading up on pitchers against them for the last weeks.
Yeah, but Lyles is just that guy. You know what I mean? People always load up against him. So Rodon. And listen, call it what it is. I mean, the Yankees pitchers have ended the season pitching pretty well. You know, I don't know what that means, but he's certainly in play. I would put him with right alongside of Pivetta and Cease as the top three right now. Again, I haven't gotten to the rest of the games yet, and it's a question of what kind of Yankee exposure you're going to want, because there's certainly. At least for me, they're looking like the top stack by a pretty wide margin, actually.
Yeah.
You have Stanton is under 4K. That's for openers, right? And then.
Yeah. It seems like it's just a great hitting spot against Lyles, and then with the great hitting weather, yeah, it's going to be hard not to want to play some Yankees. And I also do like Rodon, because I think the Yankees are going to try because the year's been so disappointing. They seem to do this thing where they really end strong on these down years for them, and I do think that they'd want the crowd not to boo Carlos Rodon on opening day. So if he's got anything going at all, I think they let him in and let him pitch a little bit. That's my prediction. And
the other thing is something you had mentioned yesterday is that they are one win away from clinching to be over 500, which you said means something. So
yep. But nobody has anything to play for, Josh. There's no point of even mentioning that. Nobody has, neither do the Royals, you know? Yeah. Anyway. All right. So what do you have next?
Chicago, Milwaukee, Cubs, Milwaukee.
Cubs in Milwaukee. Okay. Why don't you jump into that one?
I took some shots at the Cubs yesterday. They didn't really deliver for me.
Work for us.
I'm not really getting too much of anything here today. Neither of the pitchers and neither of the hitting, actually.
Yeah, nothing. Anything's fine and nothing stands out. I do think. Well, let me rephrase. Let's think about this for a second. The Cubs actually have something to play for, which actually makes it scarier though too, because Tauchman, Mastrobuoni, potentially Candelario could all be pinch hit risks. But Colin Ray is so great that they only have a 4.25 total. Something's a little funny there. I don't know. This feels like an interesting spot maybe to consider the Cubs. I'm going to consider the Cubs.
I don't want to dismiss, by the way, what Josh just said, because I agree with him. I think Kansas City is a good stat.
Liking the Royals is one thing, but you can't say that because they have nothing to play for. Literally 90% of the team.
Well, it doesn't even matter. They've had stuff to play for the whole season. The team was done.
It's right, and then when they have nothing to play for, also we've seen that for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
All right, what else do we got here?
Okay, so now we have the next chalk. So we have Minnesota in Colorado. It's a weird scheduling thing. You know what I mean? Like the last place you want to be before you have to start the playoffs is in Coors, I think. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you're having your park downgrade, setting up the park downgrade. Anyway, yeah, I mean Minnesota's going to look really, really good and really cheap and really everything, and they're going to be the second. I don't know, maybe even chalkier than the Yankees. I don't know. I think those are the two teams that are going to get a good amount of the ownership. Watch the lineup. What's that?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Watch the lineup, like you said. See who they throw in there. At least they price these guys. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe they're not cheap. Like Polanco 5,300. Kepler probably won't even play. Right?
They're actually super cheap.
Oh, I didn't. Julian
3.4, difference 4.2. Probably batting third.
Oh yeah.
Correa's 4.5.
These guys were cheaper though. I thought before. Anyway, yeah. So Minnesota's going to look really, really good. I'm not. I don't think I'm going to get to Joe Ryan again. This is perfect candidate for 4 innings and out. Like just the same thing we talked about.
No, I would say that his expected pitch count should be around 75 today.
Yeah. So we're not playing that. How about Colorado against whatever they throw out there from the Minnesota
bullpen in baseball? No.
I don't know what they throw out there in the bullpen. I don't know.
Even if they throw out the bad stuff, they have okay. Their bullpen guys, if they bring their bullpen guys, you think they even would want to stay a little bit fresh because they're going to have to play a first round series, unlike some of these other teams. So I don't know. Yeah, for me, this game is a cross off basically. I know that sounds weird to say about a Colorado game. I just want to see the Twins lineup. What I'm afraid is with the Twins projected lineup, I'm afraid that 3 of the players in their lineup possibly could have 2 at bats and then they'll just sit them because they're just wanting to get a couple extra swings. I really don't know what they're going to do, and I could speculate on it, but why would I be speculating on the most popular spot of the night? So that's the way I viewed this. Unless they come out with none of their, if there's no Polanco and no Correa, I think he's out actually. I don't think he's going to play. I don't know why he's projected to be in, but if they literally have none of the guys who usually start for them, I would want to play them a lot more than I would if they have all their normal starting guys because I'd be afraid of getting just 2 at bats. And I'm not going to play in Colorado, so I'm actually off that game, which is kind of interesting considering the small. I'm probably not going to end up playing tonight because I can just already tell I'm going to get tilted by some weird nonsense. Even though I think I'm going to try to have thought of everything, but it's not going to happen. All right,
Reds Cardinals. I have as a pass. Not getting to either of the pitchers. Not getting to any of the hitting. You like anything here?
I have to take a look at something again. You pulled it up before, but I just need my screen back.
Oh, the standings here.
No. Those ones don't do it. It's okay. I've got a different thing. I got it. Just 1 second. Let me just see. I want to see how far they're missing by. I mean, no, they're totally still there.
The Reds.
Yeah. I would say Reds righties and Williamson are both interesting to me today. I know we haven't seen much from him lately. We know when he's on, he's really on, and we're getting that lousy Cardinals lineup again. So a little bit of interest in Williamson, a little bit interest in the Reds. Reds 1.5 out for what it's worth. That's what I was double checking. I couldn't remember if they were 2.5 or 1.5, and sure enough, it's 1.5. All right. Oakland and LA, Sheets. What do you got here?
I mean, Chase Silsip is under 7K, righty against the Oakland. Got to consider it. And then I'm not getting the Waldichuk, but I'm getting a little Angels just as value. So there's that. But I think Silsip is right there in the mix at 6,900 with those other 7Ks.
I don't know, like what happened. Like I don't know, like his last 2. I don't think he's in the mix. I don't even. He just he hasn't been in the league in over a month. When he was pitching his last two outings without even pitching poorly. He pitched 3 innings. So I don't have him as in play.
Okay.
Just because it's speculation. I could try and do some digging and see if there's anything, but I don't love it all that much anyway. Even some ownership. I do, however, think that Waldichuk is in play. So I like Waldichuk and I like the A's a little bit, but I don't think you need to go there to the A's on this slate. But I think Waldichuk and the A's are probably my favorite parts of this game.
What is the story with the Diamondbacks? So the Diamondbacks are what?
They're in.
They're in. So
I guess technically they could lose out. If they lost out, the Cubs won out, Miami lost. It would take a lot. It would take the 3 games would have to go all to the other guy. Yeah, so the Miami would have to win 4, the Cubs would have to win 3, and they'd have to lose 3. And even then, I'm not sure about the tiebreakers.
Yeah, so I'm going to be off of Gallon here. I'm going to be off of France, but I might be in Arizona. I mean, France can get hit. So again, depending on who Arizona plays, I don't have them projected as like even in the top 6 or 7. I don't know exactly why. I mean, I don't know. I think Arizona is decent here. No,
I don't have any interest at all in Arizona.
Okay.
Let me just double check if the roof is open. I think the roof must be open because the total seems overly high. And yeah, it is open. That's the one thing that it's got going for this game. I would not be trying to stack in a must-win Houston team that if France gets any bit of trouble, you get best pitcher, best pitcher, best pitcher, best pitcher. This is a desperation time. It's playoff baseball.
Oh, okay. I thought Houston was set. Okay.
No, not even close. They could still miss entirely, which
fair enough then.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I just can't quite get to it, but I do like that the roof's open. I actually was thinking maybe it's a little too contrarian for the size of the slate to play any Houston, but I mean, Houston has a 4.6 run total. I haven't seen that run total against Gallon this whole season.
Well, because like you said, you're going to get like 4 innings.
Well, I think it's because more to do with the roof being open and 100-degree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it could be a little bit of both. All right, Texas. For what it's worth, SaberSim seems to mostly like the unders today if you compare them with the Vegas lines.
That's interesting.
Texas and Seattle. This is a huge game.
Another like kind of must-win game for Seattle. They, as I mentioned in the intro, they had just a remarkable, really like comeback win in the bottom of the 9th last night. It was like they put runners on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out, and then they had a walk, and then they almost got shut out of it. Got the 2 outs, and then Crawford, right on cue, man. Like the announcer was saying, "Boy, I'm trying to, this at bat could be for the season." And like the next pitch, he got it down the left field corner. So we got another one, and they got Brian Wu going, and I don't know. I have to say it's kind of like my same theory as where I played the Rangers yesterday. Pressure spot for a young pitcher against a free swinging team. I'll probably be a glutton. I'll probably try it again. So I'll probably try Texas again. Under normal circumstances, also, I would probably take a shot at like a Lolo Eovaldi against Seattle righties, but he just hasn't done anything like for so long, it seems. So I just don't think I can do it. So for me, I'll take a shot with Texas. I don't want to play Brian Wu against Texas. And that's pretty much what I have.
Yeah, I think taking shots on both lineups is fine. I'm not probably going to do anything in this game. No interest for me anywhere.
Okay.
All right, and closing it out. So here's the one thing I wanted to point out, like the difference with the Dodgers and the Braves, and that's maybe why they can justify playing their guys, is they don't have a first-round series. So, I guess, I'm just trying to think of justification, because usually you're made, you're set, you get different guys rest every day. I don't know who's going to play, honestly, but I do think it is interesting that they've been playing most of their guys most of these days when things were already kind of settled. Now they're officially settled. and I'm curious to see what they do. But I see like Lance Lynn. I think they'll let him go further than they will the other teams that are in the playoffs that have to play a first round playoff game. You know what I mean? Because these guys are going to have a week off basically. You want your pitchers to sort of be closer to game ready if possible. So anyway, I think Lance Lynn will throw somewhere between 75 and 95 pitches. I'm not 100% sure that I want to play him anyway. And I think, as always, the Dodgers, depending on who their lineup is, are certainly in play.
Okay. So here's a couple of things. Again, I thought you'd appreciate this. So I was watching San Francisco, the Giants. It was like happened to be on MLB TV, and the game was already over. So they were doing like the post game show, and they were like giving like end of the year, like some awards and stuff like that. And one of them was like the best like call of the year by an announcer by the team, whatever it is. And then they said like best like moment of like the season. And it's like really funny. Like they had like a couple of like really like amazing wins or whatever it is. And like one of them was like sweeping the Dodgers in LA for the first time since 1964, something like that, you know? And I'm like, this is really what San Francisco feels. You know what I mean? Like, this is like the most important thing in the universe.
Oh, 100%.
Is to beat the Dodgers.
100%.
So yeah, I figured I'd just throw that out there. So I don't know who this Wynn guy is. They say he's been in COVID protocols for a while. I don't know. But he was doing, I think, I'm just reading the DraftKings stuff. He was doing well enough before he went into protocols, I suppose. And if I was going to say, how bad of a lineup did the Dodgers have to throw out for me to probably play him? Probably none. Okay, I'm just talking through it. Yeah. So what do we do with Lance Lynn then? You know, like what is he pitching?
Well, I said 75 to 95 is what I expect, and I think there's a range that there's occasionally going to be a chance for him to throw a little bit more.
Yeah. So how is he not in play? You know what I mean? So
so
I like him. And I'll let you finish, but that follows that. And yeah, why not keep playing? I don't even care who the Dodgers put out there. I'll keep throwing one out there. But between Lynn, Pivetta, Cease, and who was the fourth one? It was more of a logical one, and I think it was who was it? Rodon, maybe. I don't want to play freaking Rodon, but yeah, Pivetta and Cease and Lynn, probably my three. And the more I think about it, I think it's probably Cease and Pivetta. I don't know. And as far as the hitting goes, Yankees chalk, Minnesota chalk. So what else are we gonna do? Atlanta, Dodgers. Yeah, sure, why not? Maybe San Diego. I don't know. Texas, yeah.
Yeah, as of right now, I've got the pitchers as Pivetta, Cease, Rodon, and I kind of like Williamson and Waldichuk.
Ooh, that one's fun.
Deciding between those guys. Then I have Atlanta, the Yankees, and the Cubs as my favorite stacks. Little Cubs revenge for yesterday. And then I'm considering the A's, Cincinnati, Seattle, Tampa Bay. And that's if I play at all. This feels like a day where because we're doing content, I'll probably do it, and because we have a show at 6. But if I wasn't here, there's 0% chance I would touch any lineups today. And maybe that's for the best for all of you guys who watch my things, because it's been a bad stretch here, no doubt. It looked like it was going to be a great start. I was in first place of everything for a little while early on, and it just fizzled out.
That's rare that you're in first place, because you usually got Dodgers in there.
Yeah, I know. All right, guys. Well, good luck today, everybody, and see you at 6 Eastern.
Yep, see you at 6.